Most cat owners think they're showing love. But what if I told you? Some of your everyday touches feel like abuse to your cat. No hissing, no warning, just silent stress building up every single day. And the scary part? You've probably done at least one of these today. In the next few minutes, I'll show you the exact touches your cat secretly hates. And number 3, that one can completely break your cat's trust. Number 1, touching their belly. Your cat rolls over and shows you their belly. Your heart melts. You reach down and rub it. And in that exact moment, you just violated your cat's deepest sense of safety. Here is what most owners never understand. When a cat exposes their belly, they are not inviting you to touch it. They are showing you trust. It is one of the most vulnerable gestures an animal can make. The belly is where every vital organ lives: the heart, the lungs, the intestines. In the wild, exposing it means death. So, when your cat shows you their belly, they are saying, "I feel completely safe with you." And when you touch it anyway, you are saying back, "Your trust means nothing to me." The scratching, the biting, the sudden aggression that follows, that is not attitude. That is a betrayal response. Your cat just learned that vulnerability leads to pain, and that lesson does not leave them easily. Every time you repeat it, that lesson gets written deeper. The trust your cat offered you in that moment was priceless, and you spent it on a belly rub. And if you think that was bad, the next mistake is something almost every cat owner does at least 3 times a day, without even realizing it. Patting their head too hard. Most people pat their cat on the head the same way they would pet a large dog. Hard, fast, repetitive taps right on top of the skull. And every single time they do it, their cat is tolerating something deeply unpleasant. A cat's skull is incredibly sensitive. The nerves underneath the skin on top of their head are not designed for repeated impact. Even gentle patting, done over and over again, creates a sensation closer to mild percussion than affection. Watch your cat's eyes the next time you do this. They will squint slightly. Their ears will flatten just a little. Their body will stiffen, almost invisibly. Their tail will pause mid-movement. These are not signs of enjoyment. These are signs of endurance. Your cat is not relaxing into your touch. They are gritting their teeth and waiting for it to stop. Real affection for a cat means slow, deliberate strokes, from the forehead down toward the neck, following the natural direction of their fur. Calm, unhurried, intentional. That is the difference between a touch that builds trust and a touch that quietly chips away at it every single day. But head patting is just the surface. What comes next goes deeper, literally into the most sensitive part of your cat's body that you touch without thinking. Touching their paws. Your cat's paws are not just cute little feet. They are survival tools packed with some of the most sensitive nerve endings found anywhere on their entire body. Inside those tiny paw pads live sweat glands, pressure receptors, and touch sensors so precise that your cat uses them to feel vibrations through the ground before their eyes even register movement. They use their paws to hunt, to communicate, to navigate complete darkness. When you grab, squeeze, or hold your cat's paws without warning, you are triggering every alarm system in their nervous system at the same time. It feels invasive. It feels like a trap. Even cats who tolerate paw touching are not enjoying it. They are simply trusting you enough not to fight back. But that tolerance has a hard limit. Push it too many times and your cat begins associating your hands with that trapped, helpless, powerless feeling. And once that association forms, it does not stay in the paws. It spreads. It changes how they see you entirely, not as safety, not as home, as something to be cautious around. Now here is one that will genuinely hurt to hear, because you have probably done this today, and you thought you were being loving, touching them while they sleep. Imagine being in your deepest, most vulnerable sleep, completely unaware of the world around you, and suddenly something grabs you. Your heart would explode, your body would flood with adrenaline before your brain even processed what happened. That is exactly what your cat experiences every time you touch them while they are sleeping. Cats are predators by nature, but in sleep they become prey. Every survival instinct carried from thousands of years of evolution tells them that something making contact while they are unconscious is dangerous. When you reach out and stroke your sleeping cat, even with the softest, most loving intention, you are hijacking their nervous system mid-rest. The startle response that fires is not adorable. It is a survival alarm going off in a body that was supposed to be safe. Over time, cats who are regularly disturbed during sleep become chronically anxious. They sleep lighter. They choose hiding spots instead of open spaces. They trust less. They never fully relax because their rest keeps getting violated. And the one violating it is you, every single time. What you just learned about sleep will make the next mistake even harder to hear, because this one does not just disturb your cat, it traps them, forcing a hug or hold. There is nothing more natural than wanting to wrap your arms around something you love. Humans hug. It is how we say, "I care about you, I want you close." But your cat does not experience a hug the way you intend it, not even close. When you wrap your arms around your cat and hold them against their will, what their body registers is not warmth. It is restraint. Total, inescapable, suffocating restraint. In the animal world, being held down and unable to move means one thing only. Something has caught you. And even though your cat recognizes you on some level, their ancient nervous system does not care who you are. The cortisol spikes immediately. The heart rate climbs. Every muscle tightens toward escape. And when escape is impossible, that panic does not dissolve. It turns inward. Cats who are frequently force-hugged develop what animal behaviorists call learned helplessness. They stop fighting back, not because they have become comfortable, but because they have accepted that struggling is pointless. That is not a cuddly cat sitting in your arms. That is a traumatized animal who has given up. Now, we get to the one that confuses owners the most, because your cat's reaction seems completely random. But it is not random at all. Touching the base of their tail. The base of the tail, that small area right where the tail connects to the spine, is one of the most dangerously overstimulated spots on a cat's entire body. The nerve concentration packed into that tiny region is extraordinarily high. For many cats, being touched there produces something close to an electric shock, an involuntary, overwhelming surge of sensation that floods the brain faster than it can process. You may have noticed your cat suddenly spinning around to bite you after you scratched that spot, even though they seemed to be loving it just seconds before. That is not a mood swing. That is petting-induced overstimulation, and it is a real, well-documented neurological response. What begins as pleasure builds too fast, crosses a threshold, and flips directly into pain. Your cat was not being unpredictable. They were warning you the entire time. The twitching tail, the rippling skin, the low rumble building in their chest. The warning signals were always there, loud and clear. You simply were not reading them. Stay with me, because the next one involves something you probably touch every single day, and it is far more serious than it looks. Touching their whiskers. Your cat's whiskers are not decoration. They are not just long, dramatic fur. They are a precision sensory instrument, one of the most sophisticated navigation systems found anywhere in the animal kingdom. Each whisker is embedded 3 times deeper than regular fur, connected directly to a nerve-rich follicle that feeds information straight to your cat's brain in real time. They measure air pressure changes, spatial distances, and movements with extraordinary accuracy. Your cat uses their whiskers to determine if they can fit through a gap, to track prey in total darkness, and to read the invisible world of air currents around them. When you touch their whiskers, bend them, press them, pull them, you are not touching fur. You are disrupting their entire sensory system at once. It is disorienting. It is deeply uncomfortable. For some cats, it produces a sensation comparable to having pressure applied directly to a sensitive nerve, and doing it repeatedly teaches your cat one unavoidable thing, that your hands bring confusion, disorientation, and discomfort. Not safety, not love. Confusion. The next mistake happens at a moment when your cat is already vulnerable, and your touch makes it so much worse than you know. Touching them when they are eating. Food is not just nutrition for your cat, it is safety, it is survival. In the wild, the moment any animal lowers their head to eat, they become completely exposed. Every predator in the area understands this moment as an opportunity. And your cat, no matter how many generations removed from the wild, still carries that ancient wiring deep in their nervous system. When you reach over and touch your cat while they are eating, stroke their back, pat their head, or pick them up mid-meal, you are triggering a primal alarm that their body cannot override with logic. Their muscles tense. Their eating slows or stops entirely. Some cats will abandon a full bowl simply because the anxiety of being touched made the food feel unsafe. Over time, cats who are regularly disturbed during meals develop genuine food anxiety. They begin eating faster, almost desperately. They guard their bowl. They growl at approaches. You did not mean to create that behavior, but your touch, at the single most vulnerable moment in their day, built that fear. One interruption at a time. And now, the one that most owners laugh off as harmless. But the damage it quietly does to your cat will stop you cold. Touching their nose repeatedly. Your cat's nose is their window to the entire world. While humans rely primarily on vision to understand their environment, your cat builds a complete, detailed picture of reality through scent alone. Their nose contains nearly 200 million scent receptors, compared to just 5 million in humans. Every smell tells them a story. Who was here? What is safe? What is a threat? What happened in this room while they were sleeping? When you boop, press, or repeatedly tap your cat's nose, you are not being adorable. You are interfering with the single most important sensory organ they possess. The sudden pressure on those densely packed nerve endings is jarring and disorienting every time. It momentarily disrupts their entire scent-based understanding of their environment, like someone randomly covering your eyes mid-conversation. Over time, cats who are frequently touched on the nose become hyper-alert around human hands near their face. They flinch before you even make contact. What started as a habit you thought was harmless quietly built something your cat now has to live with, a face that never fully feels safe. We are almost at the end, but the final two mistakes are the ones that tie everything together. And the very last one is the root cause of every mistake on this entire list, touching them with cold hands. This one sounds almost too minor to matter. But your cat's reaction to cold hands is not about temperature preference. It is about threat detection at the most fundamental neurological level. A cat's skin surface runs consistently warmer than a human's resting hand temperature, especially during cooler months. When cold hands make sudden contact with your cat's warm fur, the thermal shock fires through their skin receptors as an immediate alert signal. Their nervous system does not pause to think, "Oh, that is just my owner's cold hands." It reacts first. It categorizes the sudden temperature drop as an unexpected external threat before any conscious recognition takes place. The body tenses. A brief startle fires. The fur may rise slightly. Now multiply this across weeks and months of cold-handed contact sessions. Your cat begins to associate the approach of your hands, particularly in winter, with that unpleasant jarring sensation. The fix is almost embarrassingly simple. Warm your hands before you reach for your cat. 2 seconds. That small, intentional act tells your cat something their nervous system can finally believe. These hands were prepared for me. And now the final mistake. This one does not involve a specific touch. It is something far bigger, and once you understand it, you will never look at your cat the same way again. Touching them without reading their body language first. Every single point on this list, every mistake, every moment of accidental harm shares one common root, and this is it. Most owners reach for their cat without first reading what their cat is already telling them. A tucked tail means leave me alone right now. Flattened ears mean I am not comfortable with this. Slow blinking means I trust you. Approach gently and carefully. Dilated pupils mean I am overwhelmed and overstimulated. A twitching tail tip means my patience is running out faster than you realize. Slow, rhythmic breathing means I am calm and genuinely open to connection. Your cat is never silent. Never. They are communicating constantly through their tail position, their ear angle, their eye shape, their posture, the direction of their whiskers, the visible tension or softness in their muscles. The problem has never been that cats do not talk. The problem is that most owners were never taught to listen. Every cat that has ever bitten, scratched, hidden, or pulled away from a touch was asking to be left alone long before they reacted. They asked, clearly, you simply were not watching. Start watching. Everything changes. Before you leave, I need you to do one thing. Scroll down to the comments and confess. Pick the one touch from this entire video that hit you the hardest, the one that made your stomach drop, the one where you thought, I had no idea I was doing that to my cat. Type the number and tell me what happened, because right now, somewhere in this comment section, another cat owner is going to read your confession and realize they are not alone, and their cat is going to be safer because you were honest. That is real. That matters. So, drop it below. Which number got you?